I don't think I'll ever find love. Okay, I'm very aware that is a very, very, very bold statement to say off the bat, but you guys have to hear me out and just like hold my hand and walk with me, okay? I've never had like the childhood sweetheart situation. Well, not even close to it. Not in elementary school, not in middle school, not in high school, none of them. And at this point, I highly, highly, highly doubt that in the last couple of weeks of college, the love of my life is just going to spawn in. I have very little hope in that. But that's not the main reason as to why I sit here and say, I don't think I'll ever find love. Because again, like I said, that is a very, 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 very bold statement. I feel like the main reason I feel that way is because for the past 20 years of my life, I've never had a boyfriend. Ever. And by no means at all do I mean 20 is old. 20 is very young. I'm aware I'm young. I'm aware I have a lot of time left in life. Trust me, I know. But I can't help but feel that within my 20 years of life, I've practically tried everything. Not everything, but most things. Almost every single crush I've had, I've confessed to. From high school, no, not even, from elementary school to college, almost every single crush I've had, I've confessed to. One of them I confessed to 3 times, on 3 separate occasions. And every time I confess to one of them, it gets into this awkward situation where, elementary to high school, elementary school kids are mean, middle school kids are mean, but like high school, college, it's like teens to young adults. It's awkward. It's just this awkward rejection that happens. Poor kid had to do it 3 times. You don't talk for like a week, or you avoid each other for like a week, and then you pretend it never happened. So after those failures, I was like, okay, let me wait. Let me be patient. Let me stop going to get it. Let it come get me. So I waited for guys to realize, like, oh my God, I'm in love with her. I'm still waiting. So you can see those 2 strategies didn't work. So I was like, okay, maybe new perspective. Maybe I gotta switch it up. So I was like, let me try friends to lovers. Let me be besties with them. It got to the point I was like, let me try enemies to lovers. Maybe my enemies, thin line between love and hate. Maybe we're gonna cross it. And in the end, both of those just led to the first half of those. Some really great friends that I still have, and some really awful enemies that I still have. So you can see neither of those really worked either. I pulled the last straw. It's like, you know what? Dating apps. But the thing about dating apps is like literally it's this it's like cat chase mouse. You're just chasing people, sending them likes, hoping they like you back. And then it's never a thing where like it's not really easy. In the end, you're just chasing a guy who's chasing a girl who's chasing a guy who's chasing a girl who's chasing a guy. And if it ever does so happen that you 2 match, you and this guy match, you guys kind of hit this weird standstill of like, who's gonna answer first, who's gonna talk first, and then nothing ever happens. You kind of just ghost each other. And even if you do text, we're in an era of D&D warriors. They don't get that notification. And then the next time they text you is 3 days later. You just stop. And I forgot to mention, I've kissed a lot of guys. A lot of guys. Too many guys. In efforts and hopes. I don't even know what I was going for when I did that. The goal of which to get a boyfriend. I don't know where my goal was for that one, but that was the method I also used. Safe to say that didn't work either. And that just makes me wonder, like now, like what am I meant to do after college? None of these strategies have worked. What am I meant to do after college? You hear that? No answers. Because at this point in my life, I'm trying to get jobs to reply to me, let alone accept me. Reply and accept me. How am I supposed to get a guy to do that as well at the same time? You're asking me to do a lot here. I only have so many spoons in a day, in a month, in a week. I don't have enough spoons for that. Okay? Thank you, therapist, for teaching us that. With all of this, I do try to talk to my friends about it because my friends are some of the best people that I know. Most of the time, they give me like the monologue of like, no, you're beautiful. No, they're scared of you. It will come when you least expect it. Da 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 da. Blah 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 blah. Yada yada yada. ABC. Whatever. The thing is, though, most of my friends have had a partner of some sort, boyfriend, girlfriend, whatever you call it. And if they haven't, they're just hot. very conventionally attractive people. So they have had people fawn over them and fall for them and chase them and ask me about them. Be like, so are they single? Are they talking to anyone? Can you put me on? All of this and the above. And because of that, they don't really get what it's like to be single your whole life, to not be romantically desired by people just on the street. And honestly, if I'm being honest, it sucks. That feeling sucks. Thankfully, though, in my 20 years of life, in my 3 years of college, in my 4 years of high school, whatever years, I've learned to deal with that situation, feeling, circumstance much better than I used to. In the past, it did define me. I thought not having a romantic interest in my life was the end all be all. It meant I was ugly. It meant I was undesirable. It meant I wasn't someone people wanted to be around. Like I said, thanks to my therapist and my great friends and my mom and my dad and my family, I went through a lot of those emotional insecurities, and now I'm very aware that a romantic relationship doesn't define who I am or the great qualities I have or anything like that. But even though I know all this and I know a relationship doesn't define me, I can't shake the feeling that I said in the beginning of this video. I don't think I'll ever find love. Which, okay, now you're probably like, well, Rachel, then doesn't that like throw away the whole point you were saying of, oh, you don't need love to feel valuable? It would be nice. I'm just a girl. It would be nice. What can I say? It would be nice. So I do still wonder, how am I going to achieve this? I am like 60 days out from graduation, give or take. That's a rough estimate. From graduation. I don't know how to approach men in the real world. College is such like a bubble, a safe space, where if you do ask a guy out and he rejects you, you move on, you go on with your life. But in the real world, am I gonna ask a guy out at work? I can't even go to the bars yet. I can't go to the bars for like the first half of my working life. Where am I meeting these people? I'm confused on what I meant to do next. Because like I said before, I feel like I tried it all. So really there's no like resolution to this video. I still don't know how to find a romantic love. But I do think in the end, I've realized through time that I found familial love. I found platonic love. I found all these different forms of love that one day, somewhere, somehow, the same way that I found all of these other forms of love, I will find romantic love. Right? Right, guys? Right?